Welcome back. Today I'm going to be checking out a new Fat Files video, and this one really caught my eye. Child Casino and Fight Club, Chuck E. Cheese. Now, I don't remember Chuck E. Cheese being a child casino or a fight club. Maybe I didn't have a cool enough Chuck E. Cheese growing up, but I'm very interested. I hope that it's very chaotic, and I want to learn some more. I really like the way that he goes in depth on these different businesses and everything like that, so I'm very, very excited, and I hope you are as well. If you are new here, please do consider subscribing and really help me out. I'd very, 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 very much appreciate it. Thank you. Also, make sure you use code MOAN for 10% off your order on Gamer Subs, and check out our plushie. He's gonna be linked down below. Are you ready? Let's go.
This is easily gonna be the most unhinged video on this channel, and that's saying a lot.
That is saying a lot.
Today we're talking about Chuck E. Cheese. Okay, here's the deal. Normally when I talk about a business on this channel, it's because this business is thriving and they have an incredible business model and they're a genius and they're doing something incredible or they're doing something shady. This is not that. Chuck E. Cheese is quite literally the living embodiment of an entrepreneur's fever dream where he went off into the business world, made so much money that he could then just cash out, retire. He had enough money forever, but he had so much left over on top of that that he could just start doing dumb shit with it. And that's how Chuck E. Cheese came to be. And we're going to talk about it right after a word from our sponsor.
Delete me.
What are you doing with my suppressed shotgun?
I put a knife on it.
For what?
Ooh.
You put a bayonet on a suppressor for sourdough bread. Why?
Why not? Yeah.
The logic's impeccable. All right, here's the deal. Super simple, straightforward business model. You give them money, they turn around and make sure the data brokers on the internet aren't selling your personal information. What does that even mean? Okay, here's the entire internet and every free service on the planet inside of a nutshell, okay? There's a saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. What that means is pretty much anything on the internet that you use, that's a service, whether that be Google, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of it, okay? It's all an app. So one of two things is happening. They're either gonna feed you ads, and that's how that company makes money since their service is free, or they're going to collect your personal information, then turn around and sell it to data brokers on the internet, and then they're going to turn around and sell it to whoever buys it, and next thing you know, you're getting 17,000 robocalls every single day. And that's where Delete Me comes in. They will look through all the major data brokers and find the ones that are selling your personal information and submit opt-out requests on your behalf, and then they are legally obligated to comply. And then they'll continue to monitor these data brokers, and if they get your information again, Delete Me will submit an opt-out request again. Basically, you're paying Delete Me to get rid of all the downsides of all of the free stuff on the internet, which I think is absolutely worth it. If you want to check them out, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, our story begins in 1977 when Chuck E. Cheese is founded by Alan Bushnell. Who's Alan Bushnell? The guy that founded Atari, basically the godfather of video games, okay? If you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you, he's got a lot of money. And if you listen to him tell the story, he's got, you know, the typical entrepreneur story where he noticed a gap in the market, he had a brilliant idea, he executed on it and made a business. The summary of that story is basically he, you know, founded Atari, was running this big company, they were making arcade games, they were selling them to arcades, and the arcades were making a ton of money with all the quarters that were coming in, so he's like, okay, well, obviously we should start having our own arcades, and then he had the idea of pairing it with food, and he went with pizza because it takes a while to prepare. It's kind of hard to fuck it up, you know what I mean? It's bread, sauce, cheese, and meat that's already pre-cooked. You throw it on top, throw it in the oven. So he's gonna have an arcade where people come in, they order a pizza, they're sitting there for 20, 30 minutes waiting for the pizza to get done, and they play at the arcade in the meantime. I know what you're thinking, fat electrician, that sounds like a pretty good business model to me. Why is it an entrepreneur's fever dream? And it's because everything after the inception of the idea is not even fathomable to anybody other than a man that's already worth tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars and does not give a single fuck about anything. So they start opening up this first Chuck E. Cheese, and it's still owned by Atari at this point. And Alan Bushnell, I'm assuming, is like, you know what? Fuck it. I want dancing robots. And they're like, okay, we'll get dancing robots. Make it a coyote. So they order a dancing robot coyote. They're going to call it Coyote's Pizza. It's going to be great. But apparently there was a mess up at the robot coyote manufacturing plant, and they sent a giant rat and
We got Chuck E. Cheese by accident? It was gonna, oh my God, I don't think I can imagine a coyote instead. I don't think it makes that big of a difference, but literally by accident, we got a rat.
instead.
Yep. Yep.
Again, Alan Bushnell with zero fucks to give is like, it's fine. We'll call it Rick Rat's Pizza instead. The rat will be the mascot.
Rick
but then, you know,
Rats?
somebody in the boardroom at Atari is like, sir, I don't know if having the word rat and pizza in the same sentence. Like when people think of food, they don't want to think about rats. Maybe that's a bad idea. And he's like, okay, fine. We'll call it Chuck E. Cheese. What's the E stand for? Entertainment. That's the rat's name. Charles Entertainment Cheese. Okay, I mean, it's still a rat, but that's better. I guess we'll run with it. Oh, and one more thing. Give him a cigar and a Jersey accent, and I want him to roast people 24/7.
What?
Okay. I mean, who's he gonna roast? The other robots. We're doing more than just one dancing robot? Yeah, we're gonna have Pasquale that's gonna be the pizza chef. We're gonna have a hound dog that's got Confederate flags on the side of it. And then the lead singer is gonna be a female hippo with giant tits that bounce up and down when she hits her high notes. Sir, aren't you worried that sexualizing a hippo could send the wrong message? You know what? The ladies need something too. I want you to mash Cookie Monster and Grimace together in one character. He's from the planet Purple, and his name is Mr. Munch. That'll send a message.
Oh my God.
Okay, so this is an adult establishment that you're trying to make here. What? No, we're marketing to kids. Okay, I'll slow this down so you nitwits can keep up, okay? Parents bring their kids to a pizza place because they don't want to cook dinner. They've had a long day at work, all right? Now, they're going to come in, the kids are going to see the arcade games, they're going to go fucking nuts, and we're going to take their money. In exchange, we're going to give them our own golden tokens, and then the kids are going to go play the arcade games. The arcade games are going to spit out tickets, and then they can exchange those tickets for prizes like candies and toys and shit. Sir, you're the boss, I'll do whatever, but just so we're clear, you want to start a child casino run by an animatronic rat that's from New Jersey that's smoking a cigar, talking shit to the other robots that are a hippopotamus with giant tits that bounce up and down, a Confederate hound dog, a pizza chef, and an alien from the planet Purple that you've named Mr. Munch. I mean,
did you get all that?
Okay, you're the boss. Let's do it. Perfect. Step one, apply for the liquor license. We're going to sell booze at the Child Rat Casino. Fucking right we are. And that's pretty much the story of how Chuck E. Cheese came to be. And you're never going to believe this. It was outrageously successful right out of the gate. Why wouldn't it be? It's perfect. It's perfect in every way. It's fucking beautiful. Okay, looking back at Chuck E. Cheese, I only have childhood memories. But like as a kid, it was a lot of fun. As an adult, I'm pissed off that Chuck E. Cheese has changed and they got rid of all the animatronic robots and rebranded it and made it family friendly, even though it was family friendly the entire time. Chuck E. Cheese used to be awesome. Because looking back, my dad had it made. There was a restaurant in town where my dad could take me as a child with my two sisters and, you know, give mom some time off at the house to relax. And he's being a good dad by taking the kids off her hands. And we go to Chuck E. Cheese. He hands me a $20 bill so I can go buy poker chips at a rat casino and fuck off for 2 hours while he sits there eating pizza, drinking a pitcher of beer with his buddies and watching animatronic hippo tits bounce up and down. And he's a good dad for it?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here in 2025. It's a struggle to find a McDonald's that's got a fucking McPlay place. And even if I go there, I can't get shit-faced with my buddies. This is bullshit and I'm jealous. Sorry, I need to make this slightly educational. So that started in 1977. It was outrageously successful right out of the gate. And pretty much immediately they had this business guy come to him and he wanted to have 200 franchises all across America because obviously it's the best business model ever. I mean, the pizza doesn't even have to be good. It's drunk dads and a bunch of kids that are overstimulated from playing in an arcade, the two demographics of people that'll eat literally fucking anything.
It can actually just be like cafeteria pizza. Because like there's bar pizza, and I feel like even bar pizza, you're like trying to make it edible, but you're feeding the kids the pizza, and the adults don't even care what it tastes like. You give them like an extra pitcher of beer when they complain. Nah, just give them the cafeteria pizza. Oh, Jimmy dropped it. 5-second rule. What the fuck do they care?
The same year that that business guy signed up to have 200 franchises, he basically tried to back out of it and was like, you know what, counteroffer, I'm just gonna steal your entire business model of dancing robots and a pizza place that sells beer with an arcade, and I'm gonna open my own thing. I'm gonna call it Showbiz. So that's what he did. A huge legal battle ensued. Chuck E. Cheese ended up suing the guy, and he had to give like royalties back to Chuck E. Cheese. So now they've got a direct competitor, but things are still going okay. But then in 1983, the arcade market crashes because at-home games come out, and people don't need to go to an arcade anymore to play video games, and arcade sales drop 97% in a single year. A year later, Chuck E. Cheese has to file for bankruptcy, and for some reason or another, Showtime actually ended up performing better than Chuck E. Cheese did and ends up buying out Chuck E. Cheese, so now Showbiz owns Chuck E. Cheese. Around the same time, the Showbiz animatronic guy, the dude that made all the music and all the bullshit for their robots, wasn't gonna re-up his lease, and he owned the music, so they were stuck in this situation where they had just bought out Chuck E. Cheese, but now they don't have the rights to use any of the music for any of their animatronics. So Showtime is just like, fuck it, we're just gonna rebrand everything to Chuck E. Cheese, and the rat stays. And that pretty much brings us to the Chuck E. Cheese that most of us remember. And historically speaking, things went okay. There were some downsides, because you know what could possibly go wrong if you're serving parents alcohol while their kids are gambling in a rat casino. If you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'll explain it to you this way. The most likely place you are to get in a fist fight is at a bar with people consuming alcohol. The only way to make that, I don't know, 1,000 times worse is to encourage people to bring their kids to the bar, so that when the kids get in a fight, the parents, who are hardwired to defend and side with their children no matter what, rush to resolve the issue between the children while they're drunk. The other parents come in, also drunk. They both side with their own kids, and then mom and dad get in a fight with the other mom and dad.
No, it's dinner and a show, okay? Who needs to worry about the animatronics breaking down in the back? Just give it like 20 minutes. Hell, we can probably set up the next fight. Like, we can make it come even quicker, you know? We'll just get these two. We'll try to like split the tickets, you know? Just start enticing the kids to like fight. Oh my days.
Dave, you think Waffle House is bad? Chuck E. Cheese has them beat, I guarantee it. You can literally look up on YouTube, Chuck E. Cheese fight. There is a playlist with 96 videos in it, okay? And that's just the ones we caught on camera. Literally parents holding cameras, watching other parents fight with kids running around while the parents are yelling "World Star."
Nice. Very nice.
A single Chuck E. Cheese in Milwaukee in 2015 had to call the police 147 times every other day. Obviously, this leads to a ton of Chuck E. Cheeses all over the country losing their liquor licenses, and that impacts profit margins, so that's not good. Oh, and then I think Chuck E. Cheese might have accidentally created furries.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Because, you know, who could have predicted that showing young adolescent children a giant animatronic hippo bouncing her tits up and down could have led to some weird sexual fetishes?
Look at us. Who would have thought?
Not me.
The kids grow up seeing that. They want to work at Chuck E. Cheese when they're in their teenage years. Then they get to be the mascot, and then things just spiral from there. And that's not just me hypothesizing. The fucking founder, Alan Bushnell, literally said it.
You can't imagine the weird things that people do from inside of a Chuck E. Cheese costume. The other thing that you don't know is the weird things that employees do in the Chuck E. Cheese changing room closet. Locked door, small space, anyway.
So other than that, business was great. And then they got accused of recycling pizza because, you know, the pizza from Chuck E. Cheese is not that great. They're serving it to drunk parents and small children. Nobody cares what it looks like. Well, people started getting these like lopsided pizzas where it didn't even look like it was cut from the same pie. So
okay, I know I said like drop it on the floor, 5-second rule, we don't care, but this is somehow worse. Recycling pizza? Never in my life. That is somehow so much worse.
People started thinking that they were just taking old slices that people didn't eat and throwing them all together into one like monstrosity pie and bringing it out as a new pizza, which allegedly wasn't true, but a lot of people thought it was, so that led to a downturn in business. And then COVID hit, which was obviously a disaster for Chuck E. Cheese, but they needed to find a way to stay in business, and that's exactly what they did in the sketchiest way possible. As I'm sure you can imagine if you lived through it, food delivery services were basically like born and thrived under COVID. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, all that bullshit. So Chuck E. Cheese started offering their pizza to get delivered to your house, but nobody on the planet would ever order a pizza from Chuck E. Cheese to get delivered to the house. It breaks the entire business model. It's not good pizza. Nobody wants that shit. So they're like, okay, what's the problem? Everybody knows our pizza sucks. We're just gonna come up with a different name. We're gonna have all these food delivery services list our restaurant as Pasquale's Pizza. You know, the animatronic pizza chef. It's Pasquale's Pizza. So people started ordering from Pasquale's Pizza. Sounds Italian, probably local, want to support local business. It's probably going to be great pizza. And then they were getting Chuck E. Cheese pizza delivered to their fucking house.
Guess who just ordered from your favorite pizza place, Alfredo? Wait, Alfredo's Pizza Cafe? Or Pizza by Alfredo?
Same thing.
No.
All right. You know what? I don't understand when you all talk at the same time.
Is that unethical? Yes. Is that exactly the type of business move I would expect from Charles E. Cheese, the cigarette-smoking rat with a New Jersey accent that runs the local child casino? Absolutely. So they got busted for that. Since then, post-COVID, they've rebranded. They've got a horrible new logo like every other company. It's minimalist. It looks like it's off word clip art. They've also taken out all the animatronics because apparently the kids don't like animatronics anymore, okay? They've ruined Chuck E. Cheese, okay? Every Chuck E. Cheese should have been turned into a national park and bought by the US government and preserved for mankind. Okay, I'm pissed. I don't give a shit if the kids don't like animatronics. Fuck them kids. Chuck E. Cheese was for me, the adult, okay? I got cheated out of it in my adulthood. Had it in my childhood, I want it in my adulthood too. Oh, fat electrician just wants to get in a fist fight at Chuck E. Cheese. Yes, absolutely, I fucking do, okay? Nothing would make me happier than knowing on my deathbed that I'm gonna pass away soon and my sons are gonna be at my funeral after putting me in the ground, drinking a beer together, reminiscing on all the memories they had with me, and one of them is gonna look at the other and go, you remember that time Dad got in a fight at Chuck E. Cheese when so-and-so tried to steal your tickets? Fuck yeah, I do. That would be awesome. That's a core memory that everybody should have. Okay, that's it. There's no point to this video. There's nothing to be learned. It's not a brilliant business model. It's just, I wanted Chuck E. Cheese to exist. I was mad that it didn't. I looked into it and realized that it was fucking crazy that it ever existed. It's literally a fever dream by some dude that had fuck you money and made a childhood rat casino, literally adolescent Las Vegas, where the parents could get drunk and get in fist fights, okay? Unpopular opinion, I think Chuck E. Cheese needs to quit trying to be a family-friendly establishment. They need to start reopening Chuck E. Cheese's with all the animatronic robots, complete throwback to the 80s and 90s, and they need to open them up in states that have mutual combat laws, okay? Mutual combat laws are incredible. It's literally, if you bump into a guy at the bar and say, hey, do you want to take this outside? And you guys go outside and beat the hell out of each other, nobody has any legal repercussions because you were both consenting to that fight. Open up Chuck E. Cheese's in all of these states that have mutual combat laws and install an MMA ring in it as well, okay? You have fight night at adolescent Las Vegas every day of the week. It'd be incredible. Could you imagine being a kid and your dad is the local Chuck E. Cheese heavyweight champion? It'd be fucking awesome.
Write that down, write that down!
I sound like a crazy person. I gotta go. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, clearly we were cheated, okay? I don't have too many memories of Chuck E. Cheese, but if it's as wonderful as it's potentially wonderful, we were absolutely cheated. I gotta say, man, bring it back. Why not? I like his idea. I'm in favor. I might be the one in the corner recording, but I would be there. Please make sure you check out the original video. It's gonna be linked down below. If you like my video, make sure you like and subscribe so I can see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.